are like through the roof, so I'll do my best. We'll get comfy. If you have to place a blanket or a block to elevate your hips. Also remember, we always have quite a few decorations. I think the music is really loud. Give me a second. Wow, sorry about that. How's that? Is that better, y'all? Good. Okay. So either a block or a rolled up blanket if you need to lift up your hips. I might have to move this back a little bit. Just bear with me. Alrighty. And find a variation with your legs that's most comfortable. If you don't like your ankle rolling under your leg, you can always just let one leg rest in front of the other. Or if it's best for you to stack your legs, you can also stack them. I'm also going to bring up the glare. Alrighty. So start grounding in through your sits bones. If you'd like to, maybe gently closing the eyes. Taking a few breaths in and out. And when we start from that grounding point, that being the sits bones, feeling that connection of the mat, just below the mat, the floor, maybe just just below the floor. Starting to think of the earth. Traveling through the bedrock and the rubble. All the way down to the center of the earth, core. Excuse me. And also imagining that energy now coming from the core of the earth, traveling its way up, back, through the bedrock, through the earth, through the dirt, the rubble, foundation of the home that you're in, traveling up through the floor, the mat, through your sits bones, and now traveling all the way up your spine. Traveling up through the spine, the back of the neck into the skull, all the way through each and every chakra until we hit the crown chakra, that one that hovers right above the head. And that area is what connects us to our intuition, our natural guidance system. When there's up, there's down. Excuse me again. When there's in, there's out. Winter, there's summer. That which freezes over then melts. Where there's left, there's right. So today we're really thinking about that balance. La balance qui nous unit. That which unifies us. Almost like an unwritten code of conduct. For this practice, for this next 60 minutes, we're not going to try to focus on how unbalanced we've been or the areas of our life that are unbalanced. or not even the actual physical balance of our bodies throughout practice when we're shifting all of our weight to one foot or the other. But really just about creating that harmony in how present you are. It's so natural for us to travel away from the present. C'est tellement facile de nous trouver dans nos pensées, de la passé, la future. Et ici, pour les prochains 60 minutes, je vous demande de retrouver cette balance. So for the next 60 minutes, for all those times that we were stuck in the past or in the future, bringing some semblance of balance back to being aware of your present state. You've been in the same position now for a few minutes, so noticing where you're feeling it in your body. Maybe you might begin to slouch in the back a little bit. Can your spine get a little bit taller? Just take 2 more breaths here. Once you've completed your second exhale, bring a little bit of life and movement into the fingertips, into the hands, keeping the eyes closed. Bring your hands to heart center, les mains ensemble en prière. And you're pressing your thumbs right into your sternum, right into the chest plate, pressing the sits bones into the floor, taking a nice deep lengthening breath so the spine gets nice and tall. Et on expire par la bouche. Keeping your eyes closed, hands pressed together. Inhale, reach all the way up, keeping the hands in prayer, fingertips reach to the sky. And then exhale, bring your hands back down, start to hinge forward at the hips. Just bowing forward, taking a moment here. And when you're ready, slowly rolling yourself up. Taking your time. And you can slowly start to open the eyes as well, rolling your shoulders back, coming back to this physical space, and remembering this commitment that we've made to ourselves. Anytime you notice yourself kind of traveling away, reel it back in. Remember how yummy it just felt to be so immersed in that meditation, because you were present. Hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. We're going to take a lengthening breath so the spine is nice and long. And exhale. Curl into your toes. We're just going to create this balancing effect again so that your stability is there. If it hurts the knees, you can uncurl them, but this gives us balance. Make sure the insides of the elbows are facing each other. Start to drop the belly. On inspire, on dépose le ventre vers le tapis. Et on regarde vers le ciel. Nice long exhale as you suck the belly button up towards the spine, round into the back. Head is heavy between the arms. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, drop the belly. Beautiful. Lift up the heart, pick up the chin, look up. Good. Exhale and round. 2 more times at your pace with your own flow, breathing in and out, 2 full cycles. Good. Really taking your time a little bit longer in cat or cow if your spine is really calling for it. Once you've completed those 2, neutral spine, position neutre avec le dos, on vient sur les orteils, on lève les genoux à peu près 2 pouces, floating tabletop, lifting the knees off the floor, gazes towards the top of your mat. Engage all 10 fingers into the floor, into the earth. 1 more breath. Take an in-breath here. Hips up high, exhale, downward dog. Lengthening the muscles at the back of the legs, pedaling out the feet. If you need to encourage a little bit more lengthening. Notice if you're compressing forward. Fait qu'on veut noter si les épaules sont proches de nos oreilles, on veut les relâcher un petit peu plus. So press down into the mat, and then think of pressing the hands down and also away from your feet. That will naturally float the chest a little bit closer to your thighs. You might need to micro bend your knees. Goal is not to have the heels touching the floor. Take 1 more breath here. One foot at a time as you gaze towards your hands. On garde vers nos mains. Et on marche les pieds vers les poignets, walking your feet up towards your wrist. Peeling your hands up and off the mat as you bring it into a halfway lift, un demi-remonté, le dos est plat, 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 plat. Gorgeous. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold. One more time. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, let it go as you fold. Let your left hand rest just at the center in front of your feet, about where your face would be if you were down onto the mat. And as you breathe in, peel your right hand up and away, just a gentle twist. You can bend into the knees here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, drops the right hand down and we switch sides. It's okay if you're compensating in one knee. This is the type of bend we try to avoid in chair pose, but here it's more than welcome. It's just very, very supportive. Exhale, left hand comes down. Breathing in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. On prend les coudes dans les mains, ragdoll pose. Hands grabbing for your elbows and bringing the weight into the toes a little bit. Notice we're really moving slowly today with intention and with that notion of bringing balance back into our lives today. Take a deep breath in and out. Your choice how slowly you would like to roll yourself out of this. Definitely don't rush, but if it feels really good to take your time. Some areas might feel a little bit funky or they might lock, so you don't want to slow it down too much, but always remember that your own process is always encouraged. Once you reach the top, roll your shoulders back. We're going to find ourselves in a flow progression. So as usual, we'll start with a half sun cell, and then we'll add a little bit more as we go. Step a little bit closer towards the top of your mat if you're not already there. Arms up, breathe in. On ouvre les bras. Let's start with a swan dive. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold. Inhale, halfway rise. Le dos est plat pour le demi-remonté. Et on plonge et on expire. Let it out. Circle up the arms. Try to keep that really nice long spine as you come to the top. Les mains en prière. Prayer hands. Exhale. A little bit more. Breathe in, arms up. Full breath in. Let's keep that swan dive. Exhale, folds. Breathing in, halfway lift. Tabletop pose, sur les mains et les genoux. On expire. Cow pose, drop the belly, open the heart, look up towards the sky. Curl into the toes. Chien à tête inversée, downward dog. We skip the back bend. Take a deep breath in and out. Come high to the toes as you breathe in, bend into the knees, step, step, walk, or float. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Hands to heart center, exhale. We're gonna bring our hands to our hips and just bring a little bit of quick mobility into them. So starting with the right leg, lift it up, and we're just gonna create external rotation in the hips. We're gonna do about 3 more going outwards. So bringing it around in circles and then counterclockwise. So we're bringing it inwards. If you need to tap your toes to find balance, take that second to do it. Last one. And when you're ready, other side. Right foot down, left leg up. 2. We're doing 6 total each way. 4, 5, and 6. Then we bring it inwards. Making as big or as little circles as you need. 2, and 1. Shake it out. Open up the feet nice and wide. We're going to bring some mobility into the hips and into the shoulders before we start doing some full flows. So we're going to bend into the knees, cross the arms, kind of squat down and then breathe in, reach it up, cross your arms again, and then exhale, come down, and then we just bounce, and then we breathe in, come up. Exhale, come down. We do that little bounce in the squat, breathe in, reach. Exhale, we have 2 more, up. Last one. And just reach it up. Hands come to heart center. Exhale, turn your toes forward. Keep somewhat of a wide-legged stance here. Just breathe in, pick up the heart. Hinge at the hips. Exhale, fold. This is just a mini wide-legged forward fold, but widening the stance so that when you drop the belly, the back is going to open up a little bit more. You want to also think about spreading the sits bones apart. Bending into your knees slightly as you heel toe the feet closer together. And then you could roll yourself up. If you've turned towards the length of your mat, go to the top of your mat, breathe in, arms up. Now we're going to do a full flow, modified chaturanga. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold. Breathing in, halfway lift. Exhale, step into your plank. Take a second, drop down onto your knees, glue the elbows to the sides and control that lower all the way down. Baby cobra for the back bend, breathe in. Exhale, come back to plank. Come back down. Hands under the shoulders, plank pose, breathe in. Exhale, hips up high, down dog. Take a deep breath in and out. Big toes to touch, right leg to rise, breath in. Bring your knee to your nose, exhale. 2 more, up. Knee to nose, genou au nez. Une dernière fois. And you hold the knee there. So 3rd time, exhale. Press the hands into the floor. Lift up the hips and the right foot in between the hands. High lunge, breathe in. Drop the shoulders out the ears, exhale, maintain the high lunge, maybe soften the back knee slightly so that you can find that full length in the spine. Take 2. And 1. With movement now, inhale, lengthen the front leg, try not to lock the knee in the process. And then exhale as you bend into the front knee, come into a crescent lunge as you drop the elbows down, lift up the heart. 2 more, lengthening, breathe in. Exhale into crescent as you bend the knee. Stop it right above the ankle as much as you can. Last one, up. And exhale. Bring your hands to heart center, neutral spine, breathe in. Bring your left hand down as you shift the body weight forward. So your left hand on the inside of your right foot. And we're going to twist it out, right fingertips to the sky. Take 3. Last 2. Breathe in. And right hand comes down to the outside of the right foot. Lift up the hips slightly, then send the right foot back. Take a deep breath in. Modify your chaturanga again. Drop down the knees. Exhale, control that lower. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale for plank. Exhale for down dog. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Come high to the toes. Bend the knees, step, step. Walk or gently float. Un demi-remonté, le dos est plat, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Hands to your heart center, exhale. Closing the eyes, pressing the thumbs into the sternum, shoulders are far away from the ears. You could keep your hands in prayer or drop your arms down, but eyes are closed. Mountain pose for 3. Dropping your arms now by your sides. And we're just going to shift the weight back and forth a little bit. If you do this too quickly, you might notice momentum gets created. So try to do it with a little bit of control. But we're bringing weight into the balls of our feet and then back into our heels. and lifting, yeah. So we're creating momentum in the entire foot, in the ankles, in the knees, and we're also trying to maintain that balance. I know this is a little bit funny, but this is a really, really great way to work on control. If you notice that your upper body starts to kind of launch forward, it's because you're not allowing the core to stabilize. And we're going to do this for just one more breath. You'll understand why. We're going to sweep the arms up so your palms are facing the floor. Fingertips are really, 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 really widespread. And you want to think of drawing your shoulders back and then down. So it's almost like you want to lift them up and then drop them and then roll them down. So we're going to create this really, really nice parallel situation with the arms. And then we're going to start to bring the weight into our, the balls of our feet, excuse me. And we're lifting up the heels. Fait qu'on lève les talons du tapis. Et on essaie de les balancer pendant qu'on plie les genoux. So you're bending into your knees, and you're trying to find a point of focus, ideally something that doesn't move. And we're maintaining that pride in the spine. With each exhale, maybe bending at the knees a little bit more, lifting up the heels slightly. We're going to hold for 2 more. Keeping your heels lifted off the floor. Breathe in, take your time as you lengthen your legs. Reach your arms up to the sky, les points des doigts vers le ciel. On expire et on plonge. Drop your heels down, fold, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale again, modified chaturanga. Step back to plank, drop down to your knees, and really control that lower down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, drop it down. Position de planche, plank pose, breath in. Chien à tête inversée, downward dog. In and out. Other side, les 2 pieds ensemble, on inspire, jambe gauche, left leg up. Knee to nose 3 times. Last one, remember we keep the knee there. Press into the hands, lift the hips, left foot between the hands. Take your time to transition into your high lunge. Breathe in, arms up. Set yourself up accordingly, shoulders out the ears, soften the back knee. Two more. Remember your belly. Try not to let it just be there. Let it have a purpose. Let it be included. Breath in lengthens the leg. So there's all kinds of length in the torso and in the spine. And then exhale, crescent lunge. Heart through the arms as we drop down the elbows. 2 more. Only lifting up your chin as comfortable as you feel like you can without your heart rate racing. Bring your hands back to heart center, breathe in, lengthen the spine, reach the torso forward, exhale, drop the right hand down inside of the left foot, and twist to lift up your left arm for 3. Breath in, and left hand down. You can lift up the hips so that we can bring that left foot back, breathe in. And modified chaturanga, exhale. Baby cobra up. Exhale down. Inhale for plank. Exhale for down dog. Take a deep breath in and out. Come high to the toes, bend the knees. You can step, walk, or float. Les pieds vers les mains. On inspire, demi-remontée, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Les mains devant le cœur, hands to heart center, exhale. Again, mountain pose, 3 breaths. Again, drop your arms by your sides. We're going to come into a second cycle of what we did earlier. So same thing, arms reach out in front, really separate the fingers, and then draw the shoulders up, back, and down. So you're almost widening. You might even feel like your chest feels really, really wide, and that's perfect. So again, bring the weight into the toes. On porte plus de poids dans nos orteils, lifting up the heels. So you want to imagine as though a wall was tracing you right at your back. And only as you feel comfortable to do so, maybe with the exhales, letting that bend occur in the knees. Crown of the head is reaching up, feet are grounded into the earth below. Pelvis lifts, tailbone tucks, 2 more. The mistake is usually to rush yourself out of this, so take your time as you lengthen your legs, reaching your arms up to the sky, les points des doigts vers le ciel, et on plonge, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we're gonna hold our plank. So hands are underneath the shoulders, just a nice little ab activation here, both feet together, inhale, right foot out, exhale. Back to center, breathe in. Left foot out, breathe out. 2 more each side at your pace. Tapping the toe to the outside of your mat. And then bring the big toes together, drop down the knees, modified chaturanga. And then from here, maybe a baby cobra or an upward facing dog. We're gonna hold here for 2. If you were in an up dog, slowly press back up into the hips, take your time. Maybe you want to sit it back first a little bit and then find your down dog. And we're gonna hold it here for 3. So from our down dog, we're gonna find a warrior 2 pose, dominant right foot first. So bring the right foot up to the sky, breathe in, pied droit vers le ciel. Exhale and bring that right foot between the hands. This is when we turn the back toes 90 degrees and windmill the arms up and over. And then we allow ourselves to sink into that front knee. Beautiful. So we're gonna hold here for 3. Shoulders out the ears. Always pelvis lift, tailbone tucked. And now we're going to lengthen the front leg. Try not to lock the knee, send the hips back. Reach the fingertips forward and float the arms like they're a letter T down either to a block, to the mat, or you can even hold on to your ankle. Maybe looking up towards your hand or just simply looking out in front of you. 2 more. Keeping your arms as is, breathe in. Bend slowly into your front knee, exhale. Come back with the torso into your warrior 2. Turn your right palm to the side, exhale. Setting up for archer. Breathe in, scoop the left arm forward, out the mouth, exhale, pull it back. 3 more. Last one. Flip the front palm up to the sky, breathe in. Exhale, dance out your warrior. Try to create a little bit of a burn now in that front thigh. Hold for 2 more. Let's not call it a burn. Let's call it endurance. Inhale brings us back to warrior 2. Hands to your hips, exhale. Straighten the front leg, lifting up the toes, bending into the back knee, and spring yourself forward to the top of your mat. In and out. We're gonna flow again. I'm just gonna turn to this side for filming purposes. Breathe in, reach. Maybe prayer, maybe swan dive, your choice. Exhale. Halfway rise, inhale. Exhale, step or hop into your plank with or without the knees. Chaturanga now, your choice. Upward dog or baby cobra, whichever variation for back bend. Exhale, down dog. We're gonna take 2 here. Take a second to check in with your right thigh, your right hamstring, your right kneecap, your right calf, your right heel. Last bit of time that we get to spend with the right side. Quand on est prête, les 2 pieds ensemble, exactement la même chose côté gauche. On inspire, pied gauche vers le ciel, la foot up. Expiration, pied gauche entre les 2 mains. On tourne le pied en arrière 90 degrés et on roule les bras. Maintenant, les bras soient parallèles. Guerrier 2, warrior 2. We're gonna hold for 3. Lengthen the front leg without locking the knee. Kind of pop the hips back, gently, slightly reach forward, and then windmill the hands again. Letter T with the arms. Trying to maintain some softness in that left knee. 2 more. Breathe in. Keep your arms as is, bend into the left knee as much as you can. And then torso comes back into that warrior 2. Inhale. Turn the palm to the side. Exhale. 4, archer. Breathe in, scoop. With some gusto. Exhale. Breathe in, scoop. So you're using the obliques. And then exhale, suck in the belly towards the spine. 2 more. Flip the palm towards the sky et on danse pour 3 respirations. On peut placer la main droite en arrière sur le jambe droit et on garde une plie toujours dans le genou en avant. Keep that front knee bend. Breathe in, warrior 2. Hands to your hips, les mains sur les hanches. Extension, jambe gauche, lift up your toes, bend into your back knee and spring yourself forward. If you have to take a few hops there, it's all good. Take a breath in and out. Let's flow to flush that out. Breathe in, arms to rise. Swan dive or prayer fold. Exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. Position de planche, step your hop back, chaturanga on expire. Upward dog. And then downward dog. Take a deep breath in and really let it go. Come high to the toes, bend the knees, step, step, walk or gently float to your hands. Un demi-remonté, on inspire. Et on expire, on plonge. Inhale to rise. Hands to heart center, exhale. Press your thumbs into your sternum, take a deep breath in. Perfect, so we're gonna release the arms by the sides, kicking out the arms and the legs. And we're gonna come into dancer's pose. I'm gonna grab a strap in case anybody has one and you're watching. I'm gonna show a really great way to utilize the strap for this pose. So if you have a strap, what you're gonna do, we're gonna start with the right foot. So you're gonna find the midpoint of your strap and you're going to bring your foot to the center of the strap. If you guys don't have one now, it's totally fine, but this is a great thing to come back to. So what you're doing is you step in the middle of the strap and then you swap it so it creates an X. I know there's a glare, I'm so sorry, but you're creating an X. So this is it open, We create that X, so you swap it. And then the left leg, so the foot that's not in there is gonna come up and through. It's gonna step forward. So now I have this situation going on. And then you're gonna grab for the straps, bending into the foot, and now it's crossed perfectly. So as you lift it up, you won't have to worry about your foot slipping out. Okay, and then we work on balancing through the four corners of the left foot and trying to stop the knee from splaying out. If we don't have a strap, good old hand, good old regular arm extension. So you're gonna extend your arm and turn your palm facing outwards. Bending into the right foot, you're gonna grab for the inside. So you're grabbing for the arch. So you're going by the back, but then toodaloo, you're reaching for the inside of your foot so it traces the big toe. What we want to eliminate as much as possible in dancers is you want to stop the leg from going out to the side. You want the knee to point down and then trace behind you rather than outward. So this is actually shutting the hip. So when you find that balance, either with the straps or with your hand, you might want to incorporate the left arm, breathing in and reaching up the bicep towards the ear, keeping the left leg long, pressing into all four corners of the left foot. And only on the exhale do we maybe think about kicking the foot into the hand and then pulling the hand back into the foot. Softening that standing leg. We're going to hold here for 3 more. If you lose balance, try not to waste the time berating yourself, but create that bounce back mentality where you find yourself right back into the pose. If you can, either releasing the strap or your hand from your foot, keeping the knee bent as you bring it all the way back up and through, reaching both arms to the sky. Exhale, 1 toppling tree. I know, but remember, we're creating that endurance. Bend into the back knee, right knee travels up and through. Breathe in, reach up. Let's flush all of that out with the flow. Drop the right foot down. On expire, on plonge. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back into plank and hold it here. If you need to modify by dropping down onto your knees, you can, but we're gonna do 8 forward and back. So breathe in, shifts the shoulders forward. Exhale, brings them back on top of our wrists. We never tent the bum. So 7. Halfway there, 4. Last 2. Breathe in. Chaturanga, with or without the knees. Exhale. Upward dog or baby cobra, your choice. Exhale, all one breath, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. On ouvre la bouche et on expire. On vient sur les orteils, on plie dans les genoux. Inhale, step, step, walk or float. On trouve un demi-remontée et on plonge. Breathe in, rise. Les mains devant le cœur, on expire. Thumbs to the sternum, in, out. So setting yourself up, I'm gonna do this side with the strap so that we have both shown on video. So if you have the strap, no crossing over, just leaving it normal, step into it with the left foot, cross it over. If you're not using a strap, we do the exact same thing, but now the left hand turns out, palm facing away from the body. We bend into the left foot and we grab for the inside. If we're using that strap, we create that X, and then the right foot steps up and through it. And then we bring, so you're also creating a really nice external rotation in your shoulders. And then you might be working on it from here, or you might have the availability. You don't want to put it too far back on your foot because you want to be able to maybe bring the straps together. If you're holding your foot with your hand, think of sweeping the right arm up, bicep by the ear, keeping a softness in the knee, but also lengthening the leg. There's a happy medium there. Ooh, last one. Dropping out of that strap or from the grip on the foot, travel up with the knee, breathe in. Toppling tree for 1. Breathe in, rise. Try to keep that knee bent. Reach, 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 reach. Really let it go. Fold, exhale, halfway rise. Plank to chaturanga, let it go. Up and down. Ooh, you might need to pedal out the legs a little bit, bringing a little bit of relief to the ankles. Big toes come to touch. We're gonna find a low lunge, right leg up. Exhale, we're gonna send the right foot in between the hands, dropping down onto the back knee. Uncurl the toes. And we're gonna take our time here. You can keep your hands on either side of your foot on the fingertips. You can bring some blocks to your practice so that the floor is a little bit closer to you. Mais le plus possible, je veux que le genou reste plus en arrière. This is one of those times where we're not looking for some 90 degrees. I don't want the knee to be right under the hip. Here, we definitely want the knee above the ankle, right here, nice 90. But this back leg, try to send it back as much as you comfortably can. Always remember that if you have any knee sensitivities, you can always fold your mat in half to create some extra cushioning, or have a tiny face towel, like a washcloth, during your practice beside you. It's a great thing. We did 2 more. If you were on blocks, release them from the mat. We're going to actually heel toe the right foot now over to the left side, and we're going to go from a low lunge into a pigeon. So take your time, walking that right foot over to the other side of the mat. Really, really no rush. You want to ease the body into it. I would suggest staying onto the hands for a handful of breaths, at least 2 or 3. Et seulement ici, après qu'on a trouvé notre fondation, est-ce qu'on peut peut-être venir sur les bras? Ou même on peut déposer la poitrine au complet. Take one last full breath in and out here. Take your time to slowly make your way back up, especially if you melted all the way down. On va placer les 2 mains juste en dessous les épaules. Take your time, curling the back toes, lifting yourself up and out. Really, 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 really take your time. We did a lengthy hip opener there. Hello. This is a really lovely time to pedal out your feet and notice the difference you feel between the 2 sides. Quand on est prête, même chose, l'autre côté. So left leg sweeps up. And we're going to find that low lunge now on the other side. So take your time. Depending on the level of stress we endured, the type of news we received over the week, whether it was on a personal or global scale, whether it affects us directly or indirectly, you will notice if you take the time to pay attention to your body, that your practice, even if you were to do the exact same practice with the exact same movements every day, you would notice that each day your body differs in the way that it feels, depending on information processed, depending on sleep, the quality of the sleep, the amount of water we had to drink, the types of conversations we had. You might notice that one day you're using a lot of props. And that's balance. Sometimes your body internally and externally had to deal with a little bit more. So you're bringing balance into your practice by modifying the way that you need to. This is that time where we start to think about shifting our way out of the low lunge. Take your time to heel toe the foot. You might have to get out of the low lunge completely, like you might have to sit yourself back and then lean over towards the left side and bend into the leg. If you notice, today has been a really slow and yummy kind of practice. So, je vous encourage de écouter les messages de votre corps, de vos corps. Our body speaks to us in so many ways. Et l'affaire, ce qui est le plus drôle, c'est que moi, mais tout le monde que je connais, on demande toujours pour des signes. How often do you find yourself asking from a higher power, from source, from spirit, from God, whatever it is that you call it, for a sign? Give me a sign. What do I need to do? And our bodies are giving us those signs all throughout the day, each and every day. A headache is your body's way of asking you for water. Fatigue might be asking you to feed your body if you find yourself too busy to eat. Think of those maybe subtle, maybe not so subtle signs and bring that balance and that harmony back into your life by listening. I'm inviting you to take your time, slowly peel yourself up from your pigeon. If this feels too intense, I tell this to my yin students all the time, if you hold a stretch for a very long time, like pigeon, you can just come out of it, and we'll even do it here because we can. Just lean onto your left side, onto your left butt cheek, and then just slowly roll yourself out of it. If you're super craving a downward dog right now, by all means, find it. But if that was a really intense series of hip openers for you, then you can always just collapse on the side to come out of it. That's the only time collapsing on the side in pigeon is acceptable. So we're gonna just find one more tiny little activation here for the abdominals. You can lift your toes. I know there's a glare, I'm so sorry. But my heels are on the floor, my toes are pointed up towards the sky. And your arms are gonna reach out, your palms are facing each other, and just really dictate how much time you'd like to take here. Try not to compensate in the back. Try to use the abdominals as much as you can. Listen to your body. You'll know when you're using more of one than the other. Once you've melted all the way down, firmly plant the feet down. Les pieds à une distance de nos hanches, les talons très, très proches de nos fessiers. Feet are really close to the bum here, arms by your sides. Take your time and really slowly lift up your hips. Keep your chin away from your chest. Maybe walk your shoulders together, but maybe think of leaving the arms out instead of clasping the hands and creating so much condensing energy at the back. Just try to keep everything open, throat, chest, heart. One last one here. On the exhale, you can gently roll yourself down. You can even lift up your heels as you roll yourself down if that feels nice. And when you're ready, coming into a hug, you could even windshield wiper the legs. You can do both. But just try to rock yourself a little bit side to side, flushing out any stagnant energies. And I'm going to encourage you to find whatever feels best for you right now. Does that mean staying in a hug? Does that mean maybe finding happy baby with the elbows on the insides of the knees, either grabbing for the feet or the ankles? You're just about done with hip openers. You can actually drop your feet down to the mat, open them up really, really wide, but then drop your knees down. So you're creating like a letter A or an upside down V with your legs. Another option is to have your legs together with your hands on your knees, keeping the legs together and just kind of rolling yourself into little circles. Feeling the legs go a little bit further away and then a little bit closer to the body. Whatever pose you've chosen, maybe you found something active like a shoulder stand. Take one more full breath there. Wherever it is that you are, kindly, compassionately, and gently guide yourself out of that pose and into a hug. Knees bent, arms wrapped around the legs as much as you can, as much as it's comfortable. And just lifting the shoulder blades off the mat, engaging the upper body. Eyes are closed, forehead is closer to the knees. We're going to take a deep breath in and hold it once we reach the top of our breath. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. And then hold the breath, hold the breath, hold the breath. Et on expire, on relâche tout, let it all go. Exhale, Shavasana. Letting out an audible sigh. Maybe even taking this moment to curl up the sides of your mouth. And bringing a smile to your face. As you let that notion of balance wash over you. Avec un sourire sur le visage, on pense de notre intention de la journée aujourd'hui, c'était la balance. Et pas seulement la balance de nos corps pendant des positions ou des postures de yoga, mais la balance avec nos pensées, la balance avec nos respirations. So if you know you have a tendency to take short breaths throughout the day, balance that out by taking some really energizing, full lengthening ones. If you notice that you were overly critical today, yesterday, or if you notice it tomorrow, balance it out with some compliments, some silver linings. Everything has something bright about it if you're willing to spend the time to look for it. And just like the practice of yoga, sometimes our sessions are more dynamic. Some of them are filled with nonstop movement. Always somewhat of a balance of beginner, intermediate poses. But every now and then coming to a practice that includes movement, and stillness. Dynamics and deep stretching. Constant movement with the body and meditation. On prend ce petit moment ici pour penser de l'oxygène qui nourrisse les cellules dans nos corps. Each bit of oxygen that we take, nourishing the cells in our body. Tous les systèmes respiratory, lymphatic, circulatory, digestive. And we thank the body. Allow yourself to take 1 or 2 more breaths here. And when you're ready, bringing movement to the fingers, to the toes, to the hands, and to the feet. And again, slowly, compassionately, gracefully, graciously, rolling yourself onto your right side. A moment in the fetal position before pressing yourself up to rise, slowly, compassionately, gracefully, and carefully. Find an easy seat. You can even keep your eyes closed for the entirety of that press up into your seat. On veut maintenir toujours beaucoup d'espace entre les oreilles et les épaules. Drop the shoulders down, but keep that length in the spine. 3 breaths, 3 respirations ensemble. In. Hands can stay on the knees or the heart center as we bow the chin to the chest. On prend ce petit moment toujours pour remercier la pratique de yoga qui est toujours là pour nous. On prend un autre moment pour remercier nos respirations, notre énergie et notre pratique aujourd'hui. Take this moment to thank your body again for everything that it does for you. And as you thank yourself for showing up, I also mirror that sentiment. I thank you for being here, for stepping onto your mat, sharing your energies with me, and of course for allowing me the honor to guide you. As always, I remind you to choose courage over comfort. Namaste.